Hey there, it's Brittany, and I'm back with the June Curated bead box, and looks like we have bumblebees this month. Y'all know I'm a little scared of bees. Actually, a lot of scared of bees. So, but I think the colors are cute. Also, I'm a Cleveland fan, so black and yellow don't really go together because that's Steelers colors. But we'll make it through. Maybe I won't put the black and yellow together on this one. Here's the screenshot of the items that are in this box, and then you also receive a finding starter kit, which includes crimp beads, elastic, bead wire, memory wire, head pins, jump rings, ear wires, and lobster clasps. So let's get this open. This has got some nice neutrals in it. So let's see. This is number one, which is, well, they're not numbered, but the 12 millimeter pale gold faceted glass beads, the 13-inch string. I think we've gotten those before. At least, I think we got them in purple. 12 millimeter sea glass jade style glass beads, 8-inch string. Okay, so sea glass is the color. It's like a very pale grayish green. The next one is a 10 millimeter black and brown crackle seasoned glass beads, 8-inch string. So here we go with these. I actually really love these beads, and I have a bunch in my stash. There is a broken bead here, and I'm not seeing like any broken pieces, so that must have been broken before it was shipped. These are really pretty. 10 millimeter vanilla gold glass pearl bead, 8-inch string. These are kind of yellow. These are like yellow, not really vanilla. I would say that they're more like butter, but they're really pretty. I love yellow pearls. I love orange pearls. I think they're such a nice color. We've got a 10 millimeter gemstone bead, 8-inch string, 7 to 8-inch string. I think we've gotten these before. I like oh, look at this one. I like that one. Those are fun. Maybe we'll make a gemstone bracelet with those. Next we have 8 millimeter mellow yellow jade style glass bead, 10.5-inch string. Those are pretty. Got the 8 millimeter rustic, this is charcoal, the charcoal rustic glass pearl beads. I love these pearls. They actually had a sale on dollarbead.com on a lot of their rustic pearls, and I filled up my cart, but I haven't checked out yet because I just love these beads. I love the bumpy texture. These are some of my favorites from them, and that's a really good color. It's like almost like a bronzy gunmetal. Very cool color. Like those. Got 8 millimeter khaki marble style glass beads. These are yellow and black. And then we have 6 millimeter beige gemstone beads. This is a 7 to 8-inch string. These are cool. They have like a cream and almost like a butterscotch, like little vein running through them. That's pretty cool. I like those. We've got 8 by 4 millimeter brown tube pressed glass beads, and this is a 13-inch string. Those are cool. 6 millimeter black onyx gemstone beads. Those are nice. 12 millimeter bronze druzy style glass beads, approximately 16 beads. These are like matte glass. Those are cool. I like those. I almost want to alter them by like drawing dots on them and stripes with black to make them a little tribal. Maybe we'll do that. And then we've got 11.0 pale yellow opaque glass seed beads, a 1-ounce bag. I'm not going to open these because they'll be everywhere. And then here is our findings kit. So it is in gold this month. Okay, I'm going to look at these things. I think we're going to make a bracelet, and I'll be back. All right, I took a look, and I think I want to use these 4 items in 2 different bracelets. So they're going to be, I'm going to make a, actually, I'm going to make 2 multi-strand bracelets. So one's going to be a double strand, one's going to be, I think, a triple strand. And I'm going to do them 2 different ways. So one's going to be strung, and one is going to be using some leather. So the first one I'm going to do, I think it'll be actually the leather one, because I want to show you this, what I was thinking about altering these glass beads. So I'm just going to put one on a head pin so I can hold it. You can hold it with your fingers. You can do this however you'd like. I got out a paint pen, and while it worked, it wasn't the best. So I grabbed my vintage patina paint and I shook it up. I got it in black and I spilled water. Just realized I just spilled water everywhere. And I just have a little piece of paper. I'm going to put down a few drops of this. Stuff dries fast, so you want to only work with a little bit at a time. I have my little paintbrush and a little thing of water, and I'm just going to go in, dab off some of that. And I'm going to do whatever I want on my bead. So on this one, I'm just going to do some stripes, maybe a couple dots. Just being very careful not to get any on my fingers because it inevitably happens, but I don't want to mess up my bead. Well, see, my brush stroke was pretty thick on one of these, so it was a little wide at the end, but it's okay because it's going to be a hand painted bead. Now I want to let that dry a little bit before I move to the other side, because as you can see, the bead is spinning as I move the eye pin or head pin, and I don't want to put my finger in wet paint. So okay, I was able to move that a little bit, but just move with your bead. And if you need a more precision brush, I would grab one. This one is pretty tiny though. It's hard to get this to focus on this bead. See, this is where it ended up being a large brush stroke, but that's okay. It's a one-of-a-kind painted bead. So there we go. That's got a really fun tribal look to it now, and I'm just going to do a couple different beads that have different patterns on them. This one, I think I'm going to go and do maybe squiggly lines this time. It's gonna be a little interesting because I don't want to get my fingers stuck in the paint, so I'm gonna just kind of go halfway around the bead. And then kind of let that dry as much as I can, and then I'm actually holding it in place with my pointer finger nail, so it's not moving too much. There we go. Just a fun, funky stripes. You can put more dots. I'm going to go ahead and do all of them, and I'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, so I've very quickly, and I do mean very quickly, made 8 beads. I like that they're messy. I like that they're not perfect, but if you're looking for perfect, more power to you. It's your bead. You can do whatever design that you'd like. And then I am going to be using the Rustic pearls on this. I got out some vintage buttons that I got in an eBay lot, and I think I'm going to go with the star on this one. And then I also got out some matte brown 6/0 seed beads that I thought would look nice. And I have my pleather for this one. So I have 1mm pleather. But if you just have 1mm cord, 1mm leather, whatever you want, you're going to need about a yard. And the size of the size of your button's really going to determine how many strands your bracelet can be. And I've done this bracelet before, but I love, doing this design, so I am going to do it again. And so there are so many different ways you can do this bracelet. You can knot it, you don't have to knot it, whatever you want between the beads. I'm going to see if both of these will fit through this button. If not, we're going to have to choose a different button. which is no problem because the lot I got was huge. There we go. There we go. Actually, we don't need to do that. We just put one. Let's put it on one. But I could do 4 strands if I wanted to, instead of just 2, like a 2-strand bracelet. This could be 4 strands because I can fit 2 of the pieces of 1mm leather through. So I'm gonna move this down to the middle of my string, or middle of my cord. And I'm going to do a knot. You can do a barrel knot here if you'd like, but I'm just gonna do a regular knot. Move that up to my button. I have to pull tight. So we're seeing a gap in that knot there. There we go. And then I'm just going to start loading on beads. I think I'm going to put a couple of these on each side just to get some room up against that button. Move those down. And like I said, I'm not going to knot this one. It's just going to be 2 strings or 2 strands. But I'm going to load on my rustic pearls. You can knot one strand and knot the other, whatever you'd like. I'm going to do 3 pearls, 1 seed bead, and then I'm going to alternate seed beads and glass beads on the other strand. You can get that same spacer look by putting a knot there if you'd like. Okay, so I got this strung and I love this look. I love it so much. And then I am actually going to put 2 more on. I'm going to start on this side, but instead of just having 2 here, I'm going to have 4 of my 6/0 matte seed beads. And then I am going to put on 1 of my painted glass beads, 2 more seed beads, and I'm going to do that down the rest of my bracelet on the 2nd strand. So I am alternating the painted beads. So one has the stripes and dots and one just has the waves. And then I'm just going to do that until I run out of beads. Okay, I have that on, and I ended up adding a couple more here just to make those equal in length, as you can see. And then I am just going to do a knot right here. Making sure that there's enough give. I mean, this will stretch over time, but I don't want it to be like a straight line so I can't wear it when I go to put it on. There we go. And then to accommodate my button, to make the clasp or the closure, I'm going to put my button next to these 2, slide it through, and then decide where my next knot needs to be, which should be right there. Make sure, again, that my button will go through before I tighten that knot. Slide it down. And that's tight. Now, before I finish this, I think I'm going to put a couple beads on the end here. I'm going to put a seed bead I wanted this to be kind of a dark bracelet and a neutral one, but you can use whatever seed beads, you know, whatever colors you'd like. I've been using these head pins if the sides are a little painted over. I've been using that to kind of get those free, and that happens with any kind of painted glass pearl. Oh, did I put that on the wrong side? Okay. Slide that down, see how it looks. Yep, that's good. And I'll do one more on the other string. And then we'll move on to the next bracelet. Make a knot here so those beads don't fall off. You can use glue, but this is actually the pleather, so I can use a lighter to kind of just slightly melt that so it's not going to fray or come undone. And I will do that later. I'm not going to use fire on camera. And then I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. Okay, wants to be on camera. Okay, and then this one's going to be a little longer, not too much. And snip. And if you need to, maybe you run out of beads or you want to use less beads, you can make this adjustable by just doing like a knot here and doing another one. So if instead of putting the beads here, you would just do another knot so your button can come through, whatever works for you. So here is the first bracelet. I think it is so fun. I don't really have any beads or any jewelry in this exact color palette. I did make a few bracelets in brown and gray a couple weeks ago, but not this dark, and I love it. And it just looks like vintage and almost reminds me of like a safari kind of with the painted beads. I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy with it. Okay, so I'll set that aside for a moment. And then I'm going to make another multi-strand bracelet, also using a button closure, but it's not going to have, and it's also going to use leather, but it's not, it's going to be it's going to be strung. It's not going to be knotted like this one. So if you're a little intimidated by knotting or leather, or you're just more comfortable with bead stringing, that's totally fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is start by stringing our button on, and I think I'm gonna use this funky button. Like, I've never seen a button like that. I hope I have I think I have another one because I want to use it again, but I think it might be metal coated plastic. I'm not sure. It's got a big hole though. Yeah, I think it is metal coated plastic. So this is going to have 3 strands. I'm going to string my beads first, so I have each strand done, and then I am going to attach each strand to the button. Now, each strand is going to be super simple. I'm using the these 3 right here, and then I think I might use some of the onyx as spacers, but I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to do 3 strands using these beads. I'm just going to pile these on and I'll be back. I have all 3 of my strands strung, and I ended up adding 3 6/0 seed beads at this end. This time I'm using like a metallic bronze, and I am going to slide all 3 of these through a crimp bead. Now you can attach separately. I'm just going to see what happens, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. but I'm going to put them all through. Actually, this is not a crimp bead. This is a little bit larger crimp tube. I think I got these on Amazon. So then I'm going to come through my button. Come back through my crimp bead, and I will end up using a crimp cover to cover up this. Well, we'll see if I'm able to use a crimp cover, because I'm just going to flat crimp here. I am not going to folded crimp. There are too many lines going on. So I'm going to make sure I have all 3 of these. Pull this down towards my button, making sure everything's even. There we go. Slide that down as close as I can get it, but since there are at this point 6 strands going through there, it's not going to get much closer than that, but I do see that one was a little bit longer than the other. There we go. And then I'm just going to take my crimping pliers. I am just going to squish, making sure to apply some pressure so those are not going anywhere. Okay, not going anywhere. I have some black like Stardust crimp covers, and I'm just gonna cut into this, grab one and put it on. I'll have one for the other side too. But first, I'm going to trim the tails. You can come back down through your seed beads if you want, but I'm not going to in this situation. All right, make sure you cut the right wires. There we go, and then we have one left. There we go. All right, and then I am just going to do the exact same thing on the other end. However, it's going to be attached to this antique looking ring. It's actually a very big twisted jump ring that my friend Anna gave me. So what I'm going to do here, and you have the choice on this side. You really could have done it each strand separately towards the button, but here you really have the choice to do that a little bit more effectively, or you can just put it through one more crimp tube. I am actually going to remove one of each of these beads and put on 3 seed beads, and I'll be back. All right, I did the exact same thing on this side that I did on the other. I did the crimp bead the exact same way, and then put on that crimp cover, and it really matches these beads very well. And then so now we're going to finish it off with a piece of leather. Obviously my button fits through here, but I don't think that's very secure. So I am going to grab a 2mm piece of leather, and I have it in brown to bring the brown from these beads in. And you can do whatever knot you want. You can do an overhand knot, you can do a square knot, you can do a barrel knot. I think I might try my hand at a barrel knot here. We'll see. I'm gonna need more leather than I normally would, just because barrel knots aren't my favorite. And you can just get a noodle bead, or some people call this a barrel knot bead, barrel knot tube. What you'll do is have your tube between your two pieces of leather, and then take the top and wrap, going over, and then we'll go back the way, instead of wrapping towards the front, we'll wrap towards the back. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to come through. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to come through the tube with my leather. Slip that tube out and move my knot down towards the ring while tightening. Okay. I probably did one wrap too many there, but I think it looks good. We'll just keep tightening that until it's not gonna move anymore. For me, it's easier to do barrel knots with the 2mm leather. Sometimes it's a little bit harder for me with the smaller leather. And then here, what I'm gonna do is make sure that my button fits through the leather. I'm deciding whether or not I want to hit this button with some patina in a different color. Kind of want to keep it just neutral though. And then we're going to do the exact same thing that I just did down here to create the enclosure for the button. So I'm going to go down, back, and there's not really a whole lot of space here for me to put my tail through the tube, so I'm going to try it one more time. So I'll put my tube right here, and we're going to wrap around those two pieces. Now, there's not a whole lot of space for me to go through my tube. I'm going to try, but if not, I can just take the tube out and try and get that leather through my loops. I'm going to move my knot at the same time as I remove the tube. And there we go. We did it. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm not tightening this to where my button won't go through. But it looks good. And then I'm going to grab some GS Hypo cement. We're just going to keep tightening this until it doesn't move anymore. There we go. And I just want to make sure before I glue it in place that I can get my button in and out of here. I might need to move this down just a tiny bit. There we go. And this will stretch just a little bit over time. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to find my E6, or not my E6000, my GS Hypo cement. I'll squeeze that out here. I'm probably putting too much on, but I just want to make sure that I never have to reknot my bracelet. I don't have 2mm beads. I don't have 2mm beads that I want to put on this bracelet, so I'm just gonna let these go on the ends here. Just gonna do a knot. And attempt to do one here. If you need to, grab some pliers and yank up. There we go. I'm just gonna snip. So here is my 3-strand bracelet. And sometimes it's fun to just put on one bracelet and not worry about sliding 3 bracelets around your wrist all day. There we go. Looks great. And then we have our double strand bracelet. I can put one on each arm. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in subscribing to Curated Bead Box, you can save 35% on your first box by using coupon code TURQST35 at curatedbeadbox.com. Stay tuned for Goldie. She's super cute. Bye-bye. Hi. Are you hiding in the pillows? Are you hiding in those pillows? Huh? Are you hiding back there? What you doing? Hi, cutie. Hi. You're so cute, Goldie. Yeah.